Hi there, global Muslim friends. In a luxurious New York hotel ballroom, laughter echoed, cameras flashed, and guests in dazzling outfits mingled. At the center of it all stood Sonia Albright, known as the Queen of Technology, a multi-millionaire whose groundbreaking inventions had reshaped the tech world. Her dress sparkled with diamonds designed by a famous couture artist. All eyes were on her, celebrating her as the entrepreneur of the year. But behind the applause and flashing lights, a quiet storm brewed in Sonia's heart, a feeling no one else could see. To the world, she was the definition of success. But deep down, Sonia felt trapped in a web of her own life, searching for something she couldn't name. Later that night, she returned to her lavish penthouse overlooking Central Park. The city lights glittered through the towering windows, but the beauty only made her feel lonelier. Sitting on her velvet couch with a glass of wine, she gazed at the night sky and whispered to herself, "All this, for what?" Sonia's journey was extraordinary. She had started from humble beginnings in the suburbs and climbed her way to unimaginable success. Yet, now that she had everything she once dreamed of, her heart felt empty. She tried to fill the void. Lavish parties, exotic vacations, priceless art, nothing brought lasting peace. Every new thrill faded quickly, leaving her emptier than before. That night, Sonia pulled out her journal, a place where she wrote her deepest thoughts, words she couldn't share with anyone. Holding her pen, she wrote the question that haunted her. Why, after achieving everything, am I still not happy? What is my life truly missing? But like every other evening, the question remained unanswered. The next morning, Sonia received an invitation to a technology conference in Dubai, a gathering of global business leaders. Hoping a change of scenery might ease her restless heart, she decided to attend. Little did she know, this trip would mark the beginning of something extraordinary, a meeting that would shake her world and lead her to life's ultimate purpose. Dubai welcomed her with its brilliant blue skies and towering skyscrapers, a city that never seemed to sleep. Sonia arrived at the iconic Burj Al Arab, the world's most luxurious hotel where the conference was being held. Draped in a sleek silk coat and Italian designer heels, she moved with her usual poise. Yet, something felt different. Perhaps it was the warmth of the Middle Eastern air, or the subtle unease that had lingered since she landed. The conference buzzed with discussions about artificial intelligence, technology, and innovation. As a leading figure in the industry, Sonia was at the center of attention. But for the first time, her mind seemed elsewhere. During a Q&A session, a man raised his hand. Nadeem Al-Mansur, the moderator announced. Sonia glanced at the man standing among the crowd. Nadeem was a successful businessman from the Middle East, yet his demeanor was calm, his smile warm, and his voice steady. His question was simple but powerful. How can technology truly serve humanity? Sonia paused. Normally, she had answers ready for any question, but this one struck a chord deep within her. For a moment, she felt as though her career and her life were being challenged in a way she couldn't ignore. After the session, Nadeem approached her outside the hall. "Great speech," he said warmly, extending his hand. "Thank you," Sonia replied with a smile. What started as a casual conversation about technology soon shifted into something far deeper. Nadeem, with his gentle yet thought-provoking words, spoke about how true success lies not in wealth or achievements but in inner peace and a life driven by purpose. "I think," Nadeem said, looking sincerely at Sophia, "life isn't just about what we have. It's also about what we give and how we connect with the Creator." Sonia went silent. She had been brushing off such thoughts, but Nadeem's words hit her deeply. That conversation stayed with her, replaying in her mind through the night. The next day, Nadeem invited Sonia to dinner with his family. She hesitated at first, but eventually accepted. At Nadeem's home, She was greeted warmly by his wife and children. Their kindness made her feel at ease. This feels different, Sonia thought as she watched Nadeem and his family interact. Their life was simple, but their joy was genuine. There was a peace in their home, a peace Sonia hadn't felt in a long time. Before she left, Nadeem handed her a small book. "This is about Islam," he said. "It's just for reading, not to convince you. You might find it interesting." Sonia wasn't sure if she would read it, but she thanked him and took the book. Later that night, back in her hotel room, curiosity got the better of her. She opened the first page. The book talked about the meaning of life, why humans exist, and our connection with God. These weren't just religious ideas, they were answers to questions Sonia had been asking herself for years. Every word felt like it was written just for her. A spark lit inside Sophia, one she couldn't ignore. It was the beginning of something new, a seed of wisdom taking root in her heart. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change forever. In the days that followed, Sonia felt a strange restlessness. Meeting Nadeem and reading the book had awakened something inside her. She couldn't stop thinking about the purpose of life. Despite her busy schedule as an entrepreneur, Sonia began carving out time to reflect, question, and learn more. One morning, she made a bold decision. She wanted to visit a mosque. Sonia felt the need to see for herself how Muslims worshipped and what their faith was truly about. The mosque was simple yet filled with an unexplainable serenity. The moment Sonia stepped inside, she felt like she had entered a different world, a peaceful one, far removed from the chaos of her own life. Sonia felt suddenly awake. The air inside the mosque carried a calming stillness. Despite the bustling city outside, there was peace and quiet within its walls. Sitting in a corner, Sonia observed as people offered their prayers. Their faces radiated calmness, their movements full of devotion. It was unlike anything Sonia had experienced before, a spiritual connection that felt raw and pure. After a while, a young woman approached her. Her name was Amina, a mother who had recently started teaching Islam to her children. Amina greeted Sonia with a warm, gentle smile. "Welcome to the mosque," Amina said softly. "If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help." Sonia felt a little awkward, but her curiosity outweighed her hesitation. The two sat together and began to talk about life. Amina shared how Islam had transformed her life, giving her a sense of peace and purpose. She spoke about how the practices of gratitude and prayer helped her stay connected to Allah even during difficult times. "Like you," Amina said, "I used to feel like something was missing. But since embracing Islam, I found a deeper meaning in life. It's not just about rituals or prayers, it's about how we view life, how we treat others, and how we turn our hearts to God." Sonia listened intently, her heart resonating with Amina's words. It felt as though the answers she had been searching for were finally within reach. As their conversation ended, Amina invited Sonia to join the congregational prayer. Sonia hesitated. "I'm not sure if I'm ready," she admitted. Amina smiled reassuringly. "Don't worry, just follow your heart. No one is forcing you. Take it one step at a time." Sitting quietly at the back, Sonia watched as the prayer began. The adhan, the call to prayer, echoed through the mosque, sending a shiver down her spine. It sounded like a voice from deep within her soul, a call she had been waiting to hear. As the congregation bowed and prostrated, Sonia felt something stir inside her, a powerful, unexplainable force pulling her closer to something greater than herself. That evening, back in her hotel room, Sonia decided to pray for the first time. She didn't know the proper way to do it, but she raised her hands with humility and sincerity. "Ya Allah," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I don't know if I'm worthy, but I come to you with an open heart. Show me the right path." Her words were not spoken out of sadness, but out of wonder and hope. And in that moment, Sonia felt as though her journey had truly begun. Sonia first felt like she was speaking directly to God without any barriers or confusion. A deep sense of peace washed over her, lifting the heavy weight she had carried for so long. In the days that followed, Sonia delved deeper into Islam. She read more books, visited the mosque regularly, and learned everything she could. As she gained knowledge, her spiritual bond with the religion grew stronger. One day, while reading the Quran at a cafe, Sonia thought back to her conversation with Ked. His simple yet powerful words stayed with her. Life isn't just about what we have, but about how we give and connect with God. Sonia knew she was on the right path. With time, she became more certain that the answers she sought were within herself, through a true relationship with Allah, not in the world around her. The light that had been hidden inside her had now been revealed. She didn't know where that light would lead her, but she knew it was time to follow it. After months of reflection, learning, and growth, Sonia felt ready to make a major change in her life. One bright morning during Ramadan at the mosque she often attended, Sonia decided to recite the Shahada, the declaration of faith, before an imam. In that moment, she felt pure and hopeful, as if she were reborn. Tears flowed freely as she spoke words that meant more to her than anything else in the world. Time seemed to stand still as she recited, and she felt a peace she had never known. Afterward, Sonia sat quietly in the mosque, reflecting on the life-changing decision she had just made. That day she embraced Islam fully, accepting it as her way of life. But the change was more than just a religious shift. It was a complete transformation in how she saw the world and her purpose in it. When she returned to her old life, full of parties, wealth, and success, everything felt different. The money and material things that had once mattered no longer held the same importance. Sonia now understood that the hereafter was the true goal, far more significant than the fleeting world she had once pursued. After converting to Islam, Sonia shared in an interview, "I have many things in this world, but I realized that the happiness I was searching for cannot be found in luxurious things or worldly achievements. A genuine relationship with Allah is the only way to achieve inner tranquility, which is the source of true beauty." Sonia began to live differently. She sold most of her expensive belongings, including costly artwork, fine jewelry, and her collection of vintage cars that once symbolized her status. The money she made went into creating a charity to support underprivileged women, orphaned children, and victims of natural disasters around the world. She no longer desired a lavish home or exotic vacations. Instead, she moved into a modest apartment and spent more time helping those in need. Sonia wanted to give what she had, both her material wealth and her spiritual gifts. She realized that true wealth came not from money or possessions, but from her charitable actions. "I don't want this world to be the end of my wealth. I want every act of charity I do to lead me to a better path in the hereafter," she said with conviction. Giving, she believed, not only improved the lives of others, but also brought her closer to Allah. One of her main projects was to build schools in remote areas, provide education for children who had no access to it, and empower women by teaching them skills to support themselves. "I used to think I could find peace in wealth," she reflected. "But now I know that true peace comes when we live according to Allah's commands, giving to those in need, and building sincere relationships with others." Sonia's transformation inspired many. She went from living a life of luxury as a billionaire to embracing philanthropy, willing to give up all her material possessions for the good of humanity. Not only did she find success in her financial ventures, but she also found inner peace and lived a more ethical life. In her speeches at international conferences, Sonia often reminded the audience, "Life is about more than just gatherings. It's about giving. All we have here on earth is a trust, and the only thing we will take with us into the hereafter are the things we have done. Now, Sonia was not just a billionaire, but a woman who had found her true purpose: to seek Allah's pleasure, serve humanity, and live with a grateful heart. Her life, once full of worldly glamour, had turned into a spiritual journey, teaching the world that real wealth is found in faith and charity. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and support. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to show your support. I'll see you tomorrow back here on YouTube. Take care of yourself.